How you doing? Logan here. I'm gonna show off this Box2D editor I made. So first things first, it's pretty self-explanatory. Making a little scene here. Press play. You can use right click to move around in the editor or the player. Click to move in here. You can move around with that. There's different tools. Selection tool. Just select whichever one and then it's pretty simple. So yeah, when you export, you can either save it, which means you'll be able to open it later with this button over here, or you can export it and you can be able to import it into a Box2D if you're using like C++, or I use the web player and I import it into that using the Rube loader. There's like a bunch of different loaders. There's one for JavaScript, Java, C++, looks like a bunch of them. And yeah, you can just use the same exact loader that you would use for the Rube program. It doesn't have as much features as this, but as far as I know, this is like a trial version, and yeah, this is just completely free in browser if you just want to whip something up real quick. And this is like open source and everything. I just wrote it in just like JavaScript and Canvas and all that. So yeah, you can export or save it, and I'll show you a bit of the features of the editor. So yeah, if you want to change tools, you can do M for move, M or T for move, R for rotate, Shift S for scale, S for select, B for box, J for joint. So yeah, you can do some pretty cool stuff with this. You can press G to toggle snapping to grid, or X and Y for you can toggle the X and Y for the tool you're in right now. So yeah, I'm gonna make a little bit more of a complex scene with it just to show that it's capable of some more cooler advanced stuff. So I'm gonna make a little person here. So I'll make a floor first of all down here. Snap to grid, center it. Moving around with the right mouse button, you can scroll to zoom in and out. So let's see here. I'm gonna want a head. Press T to change this tool. Looks about right. Make a body, or I'll make the upper body first. And you can copy and paste, and then I don't want to, so when you paste it, it's going to not paste it directly on top. It's going to do like a slight offset. You can undo and redo with Control Z, or redo with Control Y. So yeah, I'm going to copy and paste this, but if you turn off the X move when you're copying and pasting, just a little feature you can do there. Shift S to change to the scale tool. Switch back to the translate tool. Alright, looks like pretty decent body. Let's do I'll weld them together first. So yeah, it only has the revolute and the weld joints for now, but I'll just weld these together to make the body. And I'm also going to weld the head together. So yeah, you select two bodies and use the mouse to create the joint. So it shows this is the body A and this is body B. That's how Box2D defines it. And you can see which one's body A and body B, so you can know like the angles and stuff of, for instance, revolute joints with joint limits and stuff. Okay, so got the body and everything. Now I'm gonna draw the arm over here. That's pretty good. And now we're just moving it to X. Forearm should be a little bit smaller. And that's good enough. Can move in a little bit, actually, get it more precise. That's fine. Okay, and yeah, so I'm just doing it aligned with the grid right here, which will be important later. Alright, so do the hand, and that'll be the last part over here. Let me align all this actually. Align these here, and do each individual one. Okay, now they're all aligned. Okay, so now we got the arm and the head, and we just need a leg now. So, move this guy up here so I have room for his legs. Looks about right. And go back to this tool, or just want to move the Y here. And you can just type Control C and Control V to copy and paste. And we also want the feet. So we'll just turn this into a foot right here, copy and paste it, turn it into a foot. Looks good. Okay, so now one easy thing you can do is you can make this symmetrical, but first we'll do the joints. So when you are creating joints, I'm going to do a revolute joint. So there you go, body A and B. And when you're selecting body A and B, whichever is selected first is body A, whichever is selected second is body B. And you can click one, then click the other with Control to select multiple. You can Control A to select all bodies, and Control Shift A to select none. So we got a joint here. Looks good, but I actually want to, let me see, cancel. Alright, so yeah, you can set a joint limit. So what I'm going to do here is, I created this body first, so it'll automatically be a body A when I select both of them in one selection. If I set a joint limit, and we don't want him to just be able to move his arms anywhere, so I'll do a joint limit of about 180 degrees. And then you can rotate the joint as well to get that exact. And that's actually looking a little bit too... That's fine. We'll undo that and put it back. Alright, yeah, that looks about right. Okay, so joints. Let's do this as well. Okay. J for joints. Actually, we don't want... We just want to weld this hand on here. Okay, I've got his arm done. And we're going to copy it over to the other side. I'll show you how to do that in a sec, but let's do his leg now. J. Oops. Don't want to weld it, I want a revolute joint. Okay, that looks pretty good. Do the same with this. Do the same with this. Oh, again, we want to weld it instead of a joint on the ankle. That'll work better. Okay. So now we have half of them completed. So we're going to copy and paste, but we're going to turn both the movement off so it doesn't move at all. So I actually made a copy, and now you can just click flip, and it's going to flip it across the y-axis, and it just flipped the selection, so you also have to flip it and scale it as well. And it correctly flipped the joints and the bodies as well, and that worked just fine. Do the same with this. Move, flip, flip it again. And yeah, it looks about right. Pixels might look a little bit off when zoom out a little bit, but looks about right. Alright, let's try it out. And it seems to work perfectly. You can see the joint limits, so we set it to 180 degrees, and you can see it stops right there at the limit, right where we set it. And yeah, so that just shows you can do some pretty cool stuff with it, and you can save it as ragdoll.qbe. You can export it ragdoll.json, and so yeah, the QBE is just, it saves the this is also JSON, but it's just like the array of objects. It saves it into, it just does JSON to text directly. It doesn't do it in the Rube format, and this way you can just easily re-import it using so if I just refresh it, I have it saved, so I can go in here and just reopen it up. Everything is exactly the same. It's pretty cool. Okay, and the JSON format is in the format of Rube. So you're going to be able to go in like C++ or whatever you're using this in, and use, just go on the iForce2D website. You can Google it. There's a bunch of different loaders for the different, the Java version, C++ version. There's a bunch of them, and you can just use their loader, but this just outputs the format that their Box2D loader uses. So yeah, that's pretty much it, but I'll show some fun parts. Just play around with it a little bit. It's pretty cool. It's pretty funny. And yeah, you can drag them around. It's pretty fun. It's pretty funny. You can do cool stuff like this. You can copy a whole menu, or you can maintain the aspect ratio. So as opposed to, if I turn it off, you can stretch them out. This might look kind of funny. Look at that. It's hilarious. Yeah, you can maintain aspect ratio. Localize scale. You see it's scaling each individual object instead of the object group as a whole. Same with rotation. You can rotate each individual object. Rotate 90 degrees. Oops, rotate 90 degrees. And yeah, if you turn on collide connected, if I do it with this, it'll mess it all up. Let me see here. You can go in here, set object properties, collide connected. You can set their names, which it changes the names in the loader. So you're going to be able to like address it in C++ or in, I know the web player in JavaScript that Rube gives you. You can like search for the name of an object, like if you want to apply a force to it or something. Like one thing I did with it over here was I loaded it into a man that I made in this editor into Rube, with Rube into the Box2D web player, and I addressed the bodies using their names, and I applied forces to them. So this isn't working, but it was a cool little toy. So yeah, let's try making like a bunch of them. Let's try to overpopulate this. You can do this, control select to select more. Copy it. Pretty cool. Yeah, it works pretty well. Let's see, maybe we can take this to the extreme here. You can also press Control A. I just press Control A here, and then I deselected these by pressing Control. It's pretty cool. See how many we can make before he breaks. It should probably appear where the new selection is, but when you copy and paste, but this works alright. Oh my god. Oops. Oh, now we're lagging a bit. Alright, let's see if this works. Good eye massacre right here. Of ragdolls. Oh my god. That must be stopped. Torturing all these ragdolls. Alright, well, yeah, that's pretty much it. Just wanted to show off this editor I made. You can do some pretty cool stuff with it. And, it's totally free. Just use the Rube loader. Let me know if you have any questions or if you think it's cool or whatever. If you use it, let me know. It'd be pretty cool. Let's see if there's anything I forgot. No, that's pretty much it. Yeah, thanks for watching. See ya.